So this is the view of our backyard from the patio. You can see that we are surrounded on all three sides with cinder block wall. This is the shed here in the back corner, and the other wall, that's the north side, and the original garden space. So the rock here, this little cactus garden, was our original cactus garden, and you may know that our whole front yard is now cactus garden. So these things will be dug up and transplanted to the front, and then you can see the back side of the house with more cactus and pots and such, and then there's the patio. So here's the plan as it stands. All of this rock, this California gold rock, is either going to move to the front or will be donated elsewhere. We will keep the rock that's in the bed here right along the house, right up to that mow curb. And then all of this is going to be in-ground garden space. So we're going to take down the raised beds, and everything will be in ground. So there's some beds back here, and then this space here for these two miniature peach trees that will top out at 6 feet. And then you see these three pavers here. The plan is that we're going to take this walkway and widen it to 3 here so that it will go from the patio, give a very solid walkway from the patio out to the new concrete pad and table sitting area. Brian recently built these grape trellises because we had a round one that connected between the two grapes and that fell over last year and broke in a windstorm, and the grapes survived, so we're going to trellis like this. And so I'm thinking of it as a separate garden room, if that makes sense. And it will be separated still by this mow curb. So as I think about different spaces for the garden, the mow curb does go all along up to that area where we have the rocks against the house. Good morning, friends. It is the day after our big workday project yesterday with the barn raisers from Willow Avenue Mennonite Church. And we are just so incredibly thankful for the hard work by such a fabulous group of people and group of friends. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a walk around and try to orient you to what has changed and what we're still planning to do. So the day started off right here, and in this section where you see dirt, you might think, what's the big deal? It's just dirt. But the big deal is that from all the way back here, all the way along the house, all the way from that curb to this one was rock. Rock like this, California gold, 1 inch, and it all got moved to the front. There were 2 big raised beds here, 8 feet by 4 feet raised beds here and here next to these grapes. So those were deconstructed and all the soil pulled down and pulled away to make room for all of this now to be in-ground garden. So that is very exciting. But first we had to transplant all the plants and seedlings that were in those 2 raised beds, and that was a project in and of itself. So, hi Shadow. So they're doing pretty good for having gotten transplanted yesterday. Everybody's looking happy, so I'm very grateful for that hard work in and of itself. So this still will all be eventually taken down and put in the ground as well. Perennial herbs will get moved. But that was where we started the day, was moving those rocks, pulling down those raised beds. And then there had been a pathway, pavers, that went from the patio all along here and then came up on the outside of the grape trellis out to the shed here. So all of those were picked up and moved to begin the broader path that will go from the patio, come right here and meet the concrete pad and continue on to this concrete strip, which will take us out to the shed. So that's helpful for moving barbecues, depending on what we're doing. So that was a big project, just getting them up, because the soil level had to be raised and tamped down. So a lot of work went in right here. Another big project was getting this massive trench of sorts dug out for sinking the blueberries down in their containers, because they need more acid soil and we can give them. So this was our way of trying to both preserve the acid soil, and help cool down their roots in the summer when it is hot and those containers just bake. And then we got bulbine pulled up, and we'll be putting back in some cuttings of that because it's just gotten overgrown, which is normal. This is a pretty good looking stand of it, so we'll have it reinstalled. We had roses in these half wine barrels that got transplanted over to the side of the house up here, and so that was a huge chore. So yeah, that is where we're at for today. We're still trying to decide about what kind of pergola structure we want to build over the table here for some shade. We had an umbrella and a couple of pop-up canopies yesterday, to give us some shade. So we're still making a decision about that. And pretty soon we will get these 2 miniature peach trees in the ground as well. So thanks again to everyone who was here yesterday. It was so fun to hang out with everyone, to work alongside your friends, to have a good time, to learn together, to figure things out and problem solve and troubleshoot together. It's just better to do things with friends. So thank you, and look forward to the next update.